If you had a choice about reading a dystopian novel or one set in a utopian future, which would you choose? Or maybe I could put it this way: Star Trek or Star Wars? Which franchise would you eliminate if you had to? In this video, I'm going to tell you why I prefer reading dystopian fiction over and above a utopian one. During Comic-Con 2017, a panel was asked the question, which franchise would you eliminate from existence if you had the choice, Star Wars or Star Trek? Adam Savage of Mythbusters fame said that Star Trek should be eliminated. As you can imagine, it was not taken well. His answer really resonated with me, and this is what he said. Star Trek lures you into a false sense of positivity that the world can be a utopia, but recent events have proven that it cannot. Star Wars' dystopic vision is far more realistic and prepares our children for their future. And as much as I love Star Trek, this is how I feel with utopian stories in general. I really have difficulty reading. To me, the universe that these novels are set in, the utopian novels are set in, should be as much a character as the alien and human characters that inhabit the universe, and as such should have a believable backstory or a believable history. In order for the reader to suspend their disbelief, this is what needs to happen. And to me, I don't find that in a lot of utopian novels or a lot of utopian stories. This is where the cringe factor comes in. Many authors brush off how their utopian society came to be by just repeating the same old tropes. To me, it's lazy writing. You know, they'll say, we came to be enlightened because of X, where X is some form of technological stimulation, or maybe biological evolution, where, it just made us nicer people. And that's what Adam Savage is having to go at too. And like Adam Savage's critique of Star Trek, it lures us into a false positivity. In my mind, it's poorly thought out, and it's taken as a given that we eventually work things out and become good people. But if you have a look at our history, you can see where the embers of utopia are starting to form. It normally ends up getting kicked over like a sandcastle, and normally due to human nature. And here's my pet grieve about these utopian stories. They say we worked it out, and we no longer know the meaning of greed or violence or shifty behaviour. But you have a look at these stories, and the plot is pushed forward by these so-called enlightened beings using violence, using greed to get their way. Yeah, but it's a story, you say. Why does it matter? Well, here's why it matters. So getting the reader to suspend their disbelief is critical for the author and also critical for the reader so they can enjoy the story. When these characters from the utopian society totally throw away their value, the greater good, it totally destroys the story for me. It pulls me out, and my sense of wonder, my disbelief has totally gone. A major part of science fiction is the exploration of human nature, where we're going, what we're doing. So if the author has said, we've created a utopian society, then the characters need to act like they've been living in this utopian society, like they've been soaked in it, they've grown up in it, and they don't use the values of the old ways or of our times in order to move the story along or resolve their conflict. And if the authors get this right, then it shows us, people who have been living in a not so enlightened culture, that there is a better way. There's a way to do things better. And here is the way. Maybe if you follow it, you'll be able to bring your society into a utopian society. But when they don't, and they just act like 20th century, 21st century human beings, it's no good. It totally wrecks the story for me. In my opinion, a well thought out utopian society should actually tell us as readers, give us clues as to how we can move our society forward and how we can actually bring the utopian society into real life. Okay, so what about you? What do you think? Does it matter that characters in a utopian fiction are consistent with their values when they resolve conflict, or it's just a story? It doesn't matter. Maybe I could put it this way. Would you prefer to live in a Star Wars universe where the Empire constantly monitors and oppresses its citizens? Or would you prefer to live in a Star Trek universe where the Federation allows its citizens to work to the betterment of themselves and all humanity? I'll leave that up to you. Leave a comment, leave a like, and share it with your friends if you like it. And don't forget to read more and think more with your favourite beverage. Thanks. If you had a choice about reading a book, I'm gonna run into a tree. Okay, try again. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of the video, and I really appreciate that you've done this. If you want to know more about my feelings about Utopia, I've put a link to an article in the information box below. It also gives you a utopian society that I really enjoyed reading about. So there's a little bit more information about that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.